Oh wow, this Lawrence.
Yeah, he's.
bad.
I don't know if he's very good or very bad at his job. I don't know.
He would definitely buy AMC if he was here in this.
or GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop.
Yes, he's definitely buying GameStop. Definitely. 1000%.
He's gonna be on the Reddit to the moon.
I was gonna say, he's got a Reddit account,
and then he's gonna have like a little Holo logo.
Fox Girl Lover.
He's gonna be like,
that's I'm betting it right now.
oh my gosh.
What's up, people? Welcome to Otaku Podcast, where we have the hottest takes in anime and video games. My name is Ray, and I'll be your host for this episode of this fantastic anime video game focused podcast. And today we will be discussing Spice and Wolf, our main topic of the episode. The new version that's come out. Technically, it's kind of a review. There's a few more episodes lingering out.
Review in progress?
Review in progress, let's say. We're going to cover most of the current run of Spice and Wolf. So if you've come for that, then you come to the right podcast. We're going to talk about that in our main topic. Before we get to that, we're going to talk about our weeks we've been watching and playing, all the other anime and video games that it's in our lives. But of course, before we even do that, I must introduce the other two gentlemen I have here on this podcast. And my first nominee apparently is going to be Frank. Frank, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, good. It's been a good Saturday.
I was going to say every Saturday, but that's not true. Every other Saturday, maybe, is a more accurate statement we do here on the podcast, Frank. How's the football's just back in the game, Frank? How's football feeling? How are we feeling?
Oh,
we ready, happy, sad?
Football is like heaven.
Heaven. Okay, good times. Good times. Fall. The weather is nice and a little bit cooler recently.
Been waiting all year for this.
Yeah, now he has enough money now to pull for gacha games.
Yes, the real reason. The real gambling truly begins.
You know what? Football started. I'm not gonna say much. Football started, and I started playing Genshin again.
Oh no! All right, teaser for the week segment on the podcast, apparently. And of course, our last member is my brother Miles. Hello, Miles. How are we?
I'm doing fine. I'm in the gacha trenches as well.
Of course you are, you dumb bastard.
Oh, that's cool. But I'm playing other things. I do things outside the gacha games, according to everyone around here.
Sure you do. Well, let's look at it every single podcast, and the record shows Megaman, and that's about it.
I mean, well, is there a Megaman gacha game? See, that's...
there you go. When Capcom puts that out.
Well, they did, and it failed, technically.
Oh, yeah, they did. And they took that offline. I think that's how that worked. I never did play it.
Yeah. Well, at least they got Concord. Ooh.
Well, that's Sony's problem, not Capcom's problem. Let's say that.
That's enough. As long as you don't get Concord, that's bad.
Well, they have a second chance at free-to-play, let's say. Well... I don't always say stay tuned to the podcast, but that's probably a lie. Stay tuned to somewhere out there who gives a crap about Conquer. Not here on Otaku. We talk about the real important things like Spice and Wolf, which is a remake of a 15-year-old anime.
Economics.
And full of economics talks as well. Well, I guess that's our intro for this week, gentlemen. That was interesting. Got a lot of gacha games and a little bit of football action.
Which is also a type of gacha.
It can. They're not too far off from each other. Let's say that. Definitely cousins. Let's say. All right. Well, then I guess we'll open up to our weeks. Let's go with Miles. Let's go backwards. Miles, what do you got for us?
Go backwards.
I mean, I brought Frank in first, so I figure let's go back to Miles.
All right, back to Miles. Before we get to the gacha nonsense we always do around here.
You dumb bastard.
I'm halfway through Megaman Battle Network 3 now, the blue version. I do have a little gripe though, because apparently you didn't combine the two, so you had to switch in the Legacy Collection between blue and white, so you can't really connect and get special chips that way.
Wait, so you have to play both games at the same time?
No, you only can play one at a time, so you can switch between both versions. They don't make a version that has both of them together, per se.
Oh. Was there ever such a thing?
No, but I guess that would be nice.
Or at least
Capcom's able to get chips from one version from the other. At least.
Maybe if you weren't insulting Capcom all the time, they would make you this perfect Mega Man Battle Network 3 game.
So Battle Network 3 is just Battle Network 2, Battle Network 1.
That checks out. The numbers make sure.
Apparently the anime came out because we are doing a lot of anime shenanigans now, and in terms like the pet now is basically the anime pet. Like, I think around the time they start airing, so now like we got synergized, right?
What's the pet, Miles?
Oh, Personal electronic terminal. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, I was actually looking for the textbook definition, but thank you for that, Miles.
Or was it personal okay, debatable.
There you go.
It is a device you use to plug or jack in, according to the internet or to the Western.
Because Megaman's not a robot; he's a program.
He's a program,
not like Tron.
Well, just if it's like what happens if we build programs that are robots.
All right.
It's just it. Anywho. So, Bound 3, they added a couple of new things. They added, of course, the Navy customizer, which pretty much they use every freaking second in this game. You know, a lot like, you know, you got to plug in, you know, put in Tetris, and you have this little grid. You get these programs, you got to fit everything into, like, Tetris style into this thing, and hopefully Megaman doesn't get a bug, basically.
I vaguely remember something like this, but not really.
The only problem with that thing is that game requires, you know, you must now use this program. You cannot install they give like a required program you have to put into Megaman anyway. So that's like, I can't put like, you know, more health or anything like that because I need to have this all the time because I'm going to need it for, you know, the story, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to take more, you know, it's like less space to customize your Megaman to the way you want to be, right?
You're referring to the chipset?
To Megaman himself, I guess.
Oh, okay. So you talk like I would remember, or anyone who's listening to this podcast knows what the hell Mega Man Battle Network 3 is all about.
Okay. Mega Man Battle 3 is pretty much a retread of Battle number 1 because, you know, Wily's back. I guess basically his evil goons are back and they want to take over the world once again.
That makes sense.
This time around, you know, like I said, you had the Navy customizer. Now they got rid of the power-ups, which pretty much, you know, like Mega Man shoot really fast or stronger, I guess. The chips, they actually have rules to the chips, you know, which now there's like, you only can put like certain mega chips in the set now. You can't put all of it, you can't stuff your folder nothing but Navy chips. You have to actually, there's restrictions. So that's kind of a bummer. Boo. But overall, you know, the story's okay. It's a lot, I guess, like last time, it's a lot of like, you know, fetch quests, I guess.
There it is.
You know, I guess it's just how it is, I guess, right? So it's fun, you know, it's, you know, there's a little intimate to customizer because, you know, kind of, you know, you could like, you know, if you know certain things on the internet, like to compress codes and a lot of shenanigans, you can
compress code. Yeah.
So like, you know, back in the day, this is me. Back in the day, you know, there are certain codes that you put into there's like a certain button you press in the game.
Cheats,
I guess.
Okay.
So you can press the program code so that way you can fit in more programs into his, to the, I guess the memory map or the more parts.
Your inventory?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. I need to translate it here for people who are not familiar with this 20-year-old game.
All right. That's not...
Think about it.
No, I refuse. Nah. Yeah, so, you know, you got cheat codes, like, you know, if you, basically, you literally mod tools, so you mod Mega Man, basically. It's kind of funny.
So, okay. Gotcha.
No. So, you know, have fun. There's that. Let's see, back to the gacha nonsense.
It's been 2 minutes.
That's cool. It's not been 2 minutes. It's been 2 weeks, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished most of what's left of ZZZ. So now I guess waiting for the next patch.
You poor bastard.
Which I guess now is with bikes, and we're going to literally the Outer Rim, which is kind of fun.
What animal girl are we getting this update?
Let me see. I'm trying to describe this time.
Oh no.
I guess there are actually there's a lot of pyromaniacs. That's the best way to describe it.
Fire users.
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, I guess most of them are human birds.
No ears? No tails?
No, they do tease, I guess, in, was it 1.3? I guess it'll be maybe another one. Who knows? But we're not there
Just
yet.
maybe. One day.
Apparently people are clamoring for that, and I don't know why. Anyway. So I guess it's, you know, since that game's kind of dropped, it's time to go back to the Star Rail. That's right, everyone. We're going back to the Star Rail. Going back to the stars. So apparently, there's something this week. Apparently, it's going to collab with Honkai Impact the Third. So actually, there's
itself.
Yeah. So they're gonna.
So come join. Watch the masturbation with everyone else.
So it's like, you know, it's like, no, like metal. It's like giving the metal to itself.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. All right, like, Obama.
It's like, oh, thanks. That's like, oh yeah, and this story bits here, like,
interesting.
Means I have to go play yet another Holoverse game to get this story.
You dumb bastard.
It's like, and see, this is a wrap, folks. Oh, you want to? That's like the Goofy comics over again. Oh, you want that part where we have the Iron Man during that one thing? Oh, watch! You had to read this comic book to get what happened. It's like, wow, he trying to change there. Well, to find out, you must buy this volume.
That explains all your comic book collection.
It's a curse. And you got to know, right? You invest in the story. You know, you literally invest money in the company.
You're losing money if you don't buy it.
You got to know. So that's where we're at. So see me.
That's where you are at.
Frank's getting closer too, though, technically.
Oh, God. He's on the other one. It's different.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's different, right?
That's interesting. Everyone's in denial on this podcast.
The not podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Economics.
Yeah, let's look forward to that.
Yeah, so we'll see, because I think we're going back to where we're going back to another earlier world, I guess. So we'll kind of see how that story goes.
Hmm.
A lot of we're waiting for the next main story arc, right? So like, what are we gonna do between then?
What's the anime girl this week?
Foxes.
That's always a fox girl, ain't it?
It's always Takashi's like, fox. Is there a fox girl?
I like the fox girls.
Yeah, he does too.
It's either fox, wolves, dogs, second, third choice.
Never kids. If you look at Takashi's work, you look which ones you give a little more attention to.
There you go.
They're not censored. So I guess other than that, I'm done for my week.
All right, Miles, you poor bastard. That's all I can say to you. Frank, how are we doing? Are we opening up the wallet and giving it all to more let's say gacha gamers, developers out there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Wait.
Next time on Taco Dog.
Once he builds a PC, he'll be there.
Yeah, I'm too laggy right now.
Got to fix that iPad. We got to work on that iPad game, Frank.
Yeah. I think I was playing Castlevania last time.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
I'm still playing it.
Okay.
But now I'm playing the second one. Which
Okay, so you beat it.
I beat Dawn of Sorrow.
Okay.
Got the best ending.
Ooh.
Tempted to do Julius mode, but skipped that. Because I was doing it,
Okay.
but I got stuck and I decided to skip it.
No, I'm just abandoned ship. Abandoned ship.
I don't know. It's just
this ain't working. Out.
there was nowhere to go, and like I don't know. Was I supposed to learn a skill? I don't know what happened.
Next game in the collection, please.
Next. And the next one is Portrait of Ruin. It's pretty
Mm.
fun. I think it's gonna be very short because I feel like I'm near the end now.
Is that the one with the two
Yeah.
two protagonists, right?
Yeah. That's the one. It's good. But I had to stop to do the homework.
Ah.
The Bison Wolf. Homework.
Bison Wolf.
What else? Caught up with One Piece now. I officially have to wait a week.
On the animes?
Yeah, on the anime. I still haven't read the latest chapter because.
How many chapters do you have? Are you behind?
No, I'm just I was like halfway through and I my shower ended, so I stopped.
So you're kind of pretty much on both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Frank. Poor Frank.
What else? Genshin Impact. I started playing.
Hi, welcome. Welcome.
Hi.
One of us.
Suddenly, I feel like I have a lot in common with.
I can relate.
I was exploring the new area because I wanted to get the free character.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like the new area. I'm actually not skipping too much. Probably skipping like 20% of the dialogue.
I see.
Which is not ideal.
I mean, it's a big improvement compared to Sumeru.
Yeah, I heard that one's kind of.
I don't.
Is this a character, a place?
Sumeru,
yeah,
it's a region.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's like 7 different lands, and so far we're in the 5th land now. So Frank's in the 4th one.
Okay.
Well, it's.
Or is it?
I mean, I don't know where I am.
Me either.
I don't know where. I have no clue where anyone's at. If that helps.
I finished the first one, Mondstadt. Second one,
Mhm.
Liu. Inazuma, the third one.
Right.
Fourth one is Sumeru, which I didn't finish because the dialogue. But I kind of skipped it. Now I'm in Natland.
Oh, I see.
And I don't know what's in between them.
Skipping arcs now.
No, you're right. Because technically I'm in Inazuma still. One day I'll get back to Genshin one day.
I need to get to Wano. That's all I know.
So I'm enjoying it a lot more in Sumeru. I saw a video and someone say, "Oh, they were reviewing Natland, which is the newest region."
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, "This might be my new favorite region. Even better than Sumeru." I'm like, "Excuse me,
Bitch."
That was okay. If he referred to how it looks or the music, I understand, but like story is terrible. I don't even know what the story is because I just it's just oh my god. Everybody must be going for their doctorates because they have like 20-page essays to talk to you every time.
Let me tell you everything I'm feeling and thinking right now.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know. I keep thinking about the poor Genshin Impact staff.
Yeah.
What do they tell them? Like, if it's not 10 minutes of dialogue, I'm not gonna put it. So yeah, I keep thinking I keep thinking about who I should pull for, and I'm like, because I don't know.
What animal girl are we going for, Frank?
I don't think there's animals in this. Is
No
there?
animal
Is
girls?
Is there? Oh, actually, I think the newest character.
There's
Gotta
like
be always an anime girl or
like
an animal
themed,
anime girl.
Because ZZZ is the only one I think of that actually has like said animal.
Really?
Diet.
Okay, is she a maid? What's their maid? What are we doing? Different professions?
Well,
What's the waifus here?
I don't know if it's official stuff,
Uh-huh.
but there's like because I look up what banners are coming up, and then I'm like, maybe I want this one.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I should just work on the ones that I currently have.
Yeah, same problem here, Frank. Same problem.
I can relate.
So I have I don't know if you know her, right? In Shogun.
Oh yeah? No, I haven't never had a chance to get her.
I think she's next. So I'm wondering if I should like get duplicates of her,
Yeah.
or just wait for another character, which I think her name is Chiori.
Yeah, I seen something because it usually just like all the other they usually leak out the character first. And
She's
then
not new.
I know, but like I forgot her subset because I think she's Win, right?
No, she's Geo,
Geo,
which is
Geo.
Earth for those that don't play.
I was gonna thank God. Thank you.
Yeah, they're because they're all element based in Genshin, so they're all like Earth, Fire, sort of thing.
Not animal based.
That's
Is it all Counter Planet shows up?
Yeah, almost. Maybe at the end. At the end,
we get to that's the final.
We get to the 8th island. That's where we.
Right.
That's.
I look for that collaboration.
Yeah. So no, that's kind of because they're doing like multiple banners now. Does that?
Yeah, they do by 2. So one is gonna be Chiori, and the other one's gonna be a new character.
Okay.
Which I don't know if I wanna. I don't know.
Yeah, you had to kind of look at their kit because usually
what qualifies for a Frank pick or a Frank? I want to shill pull for this character. What's qualified?
Red hair.
Red hair, tall, and can play basketball. We know this is this is podcast lore for officially.
Mostly aesthetics and then gameplay. So it's like if they're weak, that's fine as long as it feels smooth and not too complicated. Because there's some characters that are like you have to have 10 energy things and then swap them out, and then the moon has to be at a certain spot. I'm like, I don't know.
The right time of the day of the year.
I don't know. They have a lot of conditions to be.
Oh, I see.
To be good.
Yeah, because probably like a lot of these games, like once you like now you gotta pull the character. Now you pull this character so that way, for them to work efficiently, you need these other characters to kind of support them. So it can be like oh, you don't have.
I hate that too.
A lot of deck building. It sounds.
I don't like having to need other characters to play my character.
Yeah, it's like for example, like in Star Rail, like there's a character that only works if you have another character that does break damage. Because if you don't have it, they're so useful, but they're not as useful if you have this character.
So basically, picking one character, you're really picking 2 characters,
right? So so you kind of have to. You have to look and see other kits.
I don't get that deep into it. It's just I just also don't like it when you have to be very specific with the equipment you put on. It's like, oh, you need this or else it's not. I'm like, no, just give me a character that just needs like only HP or only this.
Right. They're one weakness. I can fix the one weakness.
Don't give me you need certain crit rate, you need certain energy, you need certain element. No. Now you're getting.
Well, it's like that's the thing with Genshin. Genshin's a lot.
Yes.
Of all of them, that it's the one because you need you need all the relics, you need the weapon of choice, then you need to have the talents, and you have to have
my goodness gracious
skills. Like it's a lot of ZZ is probably the easiest thing because ZZ always like, hey, do you have this? Do you have the weapon? You're good to go.
I just want to pick my favorite waifu and just that's it. That's all I want to do. She's cute, so I pick her. That's
but her stats could be a lot better if you get certain stats. You could be way better than it, do more damage.
I already have the waifus.
You gotta
don't
get
know
your
if
favorite.
I want spare waifus.
Extra waifus. Backup waifus.
Chiori is not gonna help me at all. But she looks good.
Okay. So she's at least like B tier.
If I want to go like progress in the game, I should go for Raiden Shogun. Duplicates. But then I want to have Chiori. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, do what I do. You get the character once,
pictures,
okay,
and then you keep pulling to see what happens. So that way you get the Don't look
For
at
people
me.
who can't see, I'm shaking my head right now.
But I don't spend money, so I have to really think about it.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, then you're not a real fan like Miles over here, Frank. You just open up the credit card and you just let the debt just pile on.
Okay, that's cool.
What would Lawrence do? Lawrence would go all in for his waifus. All right,
that's why Lawrence with credit. So
Did he not win the Wolf Girl? Did he not win the Wolf Girl? It worked in Spice and Wolf. It could be you.
He won this 50-50. That's all.
It can be you, Miles. That can be you in the future.
Yeah.
You get your own Wolf Girl, Miles.
I thought about it, but then I'm like, maybe it'll take the the certain interest if I just like buy everything my way, you know what I mean?
Just fix the problem, just buy everything.
Right now there's like a little mystique, like
maybe
I don't know if I'm gonna get her. Like I don't know.
Maybe she wants to date. Maybe she is. Maybe she's open. She's single. I don't know. Let's find out.
Maybe she's not available this week.
She just broke up from a bad relationship. You know, I'm not sure she's ready to date someone else. But let's see. Maybe she's interested.
Her type. Like not enough. Not enough money.
You gotta work on your academics, Frank. It's like Persona all over. You gotta work on the academics if you got Mitsuru Senpai to notice you, Frank. You gotta work on that. She won't look in my way.
Was it you're dumb? Well, no, not dumb. Was it?
I'm too dumb. I'm a timid slacker.
Timid slacker. Yeah, that's what.
No, but I worked my way up last time on stream. I forget what it was. It's not as bad as timid slacker, which still sounds the worst.
That sounds like a cool name.
But something I might get is the alternate costume.
Oh yeah, they have costumes in Genshin.
That's you gotta pull for that too.
I wish you could pull.
Those you actually have. You can buy with the prey gems.
You have to fight those.
Oh, you could just buy them directly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's the only game of the ones that actually have costumes. All their costumes. None of the other games have.
Oh, really?
One thing that I'm kind of
welcome to the Gacha podcast, by the way.
Apparently,
I feel like all these costumes were free when they first came out, and I was not playing when my favorite character had her.
That's why you can't miss a day,
you
Frank.
Can't quit. You can't.
You gotta be like Miles, a dedicated fool.
Yeah, I feel like you install all the games on your computer, and they keep
just live on the streets of Miles, and you could have everything you ever wanted.
Play 2 hours a day.
I should have built a computer a long time ago. Yeah, I gotta be lesson of the day or week, whatever. Be like the Patriots, no days off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look how far they went.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see all the rings you have. Oh, I guess they did pretty well. So
recently, don't ask me.
No. Who?
Oh my God! Last week the Patriots lost me so much.
That was
I bet against them and they won.
I was gonna say. I think that's how that story worked. If I remember right.
They hurt you, Frank. That's a problem. They're like,
they took it personal.
On that note, someone else. I'm done with my week.
Sounds like he's more done with Genshin Impact. At least we'll say stay tuned to next week on the podcast.
Can't wait to get home to play Genshin.
Having said that,
I could play right now.
I mean, I could. I feel like it might be rude.
You might hear it on the microphone. If you hear anything, that's just Frank spending all his money and time on Genshin Impact. All right, I guess at least my week, gentlemen. For my week, it's pretty simple. I have, I guess, 3 things we're talking about. The first one being, I guess, the one I remember the most, and probably technically the longest time ago since our previous podcast episode. Mm-hmm. Since then, we had our Black Ops 6 open beta, both on the Xbox system. If you're an Xbox Game Pass member,
that's Microsoft. What's that?
Yeah, which I am. So I did dive into it since I have slowly been hankering for a little bit of some online action, and Call of Duty was my weapon of choice back in the day. And after playing the beta, I think I'm back in.
Oh no! Wait, so you're gonna play a different gacha game?
A little bit, but mine's got Gundams.
Oh wait, okay, no.
What's the
how's that gonna work? Do they go into the Gundams, or they just get
the little mini Gundams running around with AKs?
Okay, so
apparently, I think that's how that works.
So the little Zaku's that come around.
They're little Zaku's, little RX-78s running around with, I don't know, M4s and everything else in between.
That's a gun. Consider it.
It's like just the kill cameras on him. That's it.
Oh man, the meme's gonna be there.
They literally have, I think and I think it's gone now, sadly, and I should have bought it and I didn't. But they literally, the little things that you could get, the little, I don't know how to explain it. It's, I guess I would call it a banner, but it's not a banner like the way you guys I think we're talking about banner, but like it shows on your icon as your gamer tag, I guess. It's like basically the little gifs most likely, and they have the Char laughing gif, and it's just Char yucking away. And it's just like, damn it, that's a good fucking gif.
So if that comes back, so when that banner comes back again, as most of those things,
and let's just say, like I said, I really haven't played. Okay, so like I said, I really haven't played since the World War II game came out and they changed everything in Warzone.
Right.
I forget what that game was called and all that map stuff was called.
Wasn't it just called War?
Maybe.
World of War?
Yeah. could have been. But between Modern Warfare 1 and then I think it was the other Black Ops after that, I was, for those two years, I was pretty into Call of Duty for a little bit. But then after they made all the changes into the World War II stuff for the new game, and they changed the map in Warzone, I kind of like just went, nah, I'm good. And I never really went back. Though I was kind of peeking every so often. And then when I heard they were doing a Gundam collaboration, I was like...
Oh, you were back in?
I was this close trying to pick it up again. But, you know, I've been out of the game for like 2-3 years at that point.
Brother, got you sweating? Like,
I did sweat. I did put it on my wish list. I will admit to that. But I didn't pull the trigger for better and worse.
Coward.
I will say that. But anyway, so the beta came out, and it's back to Black Ops and the Treyarch team, who's done all the previous Black Ops games. The interesting about this game is overall, most of the Black Ops games to be a little bit more faster compared to the other studios that do all the other Call of Duty games. And so you definitely have more of that in this one. And then they also have this new mechanic. I think they call it like the Omni Mover. Like, it sounds like very Attack on Titan shit.
Oh, okay. The Omni Mover move around.
Yeah, basically it lets you move faster, of course, with Black Ops. But I guess the twist is now in this game you can do like max pain level dives with minus the bullet time, no slow down, because you would break the game.
Not yet.
I guess if you get your kill streak high enough, maybe you can unlock that. I don't know. But basically, you could leap into the battlefield, so you could turn a corner, assume there's gonna be an enemy, take a jump, and just kind of fire away and see if you get lucky a little bit. It's kind of cool, but it's like a bit of a double-edged sword because you dive and there's no one there. You look an idiot because now you're on the floor waiting. You have to take 2 seconds to get off. People just shoot you on the floor like, what are you doing? Bang, bang, bang. And you're done. But it's still frantic and fun. I did have a good time. And yeah, I really like the movement of it. It's very fast-paced. And I think that little mechanic does just enough to spice up the Call of Duty formula for myself. And I had a pretty good time. I am a little rusty, I will say that. But
I got prestige 5 times.
For an old man such as myself, I haven't totally fallen off. At least I tend to at least get to the top 2 or 3rd slot, which is a pretty good day for an old man such as myself in the Call of Duty world. So I was kind of happy overall. I was still placing around there when it came to my team situation. But yeah, I think it is basically, I remember, where, you know, you keep playing, you level up guns, you get new attachments, you want to build a weapon this way, you can build a weapon that way, you want to build a weapon this way. It's a lot of choices in how you want to play the game.
Put skin on it. You could, put anime skin sometimes.
You could do anime nonsense sometimes. That's something I did spend money on back in the day when I was a little bit playing all the time.
Oh, like the cute little girls with the little gun. Look how cute this is.
And that's saying we used to do like Gundam references. Now we're just literally doing Gundam. So it's interesting to see the change. Yeah, I guess we've come a long way.
Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube.
There have been a lot of collaborations also in Call of Duty, and most of them I've stayed away from for the most part. Trying to think. I don't think I ever bought. I was also tempted to buy the. There was a Rambo and.
Die Hard, right?
Yeah. What's the John McClane? There you go.
John McClane. Yeah.
The character's name. They had those skins. I did not pull the trigger. I think those are still playable if you still play Warzone. It gets weird. That's the downside about it. It gets very weird when it comes to I bought this content. Well, this content will work in this game and in this thing, but not in this and this and this.
Oh yeah.
So it's very, you have to play every day and get your feel. But when the beta was out, I did play enough. I did my dailies, got my XP. I did level up. I did kind of do a couple of cool things. So yeah, I might be back in when it comes to Call of Duty, especially when it officially comes out. Especially now that I still have Game Pass for the end of the year. Let's just say I might be looking into extending my Game Pass for another year just so I can play Call of Duty.
There you go. Just that way you get if the guns are back. If the guns are back.
Let's just say if I see them again, I'm probably gonna buy them.
There has to be a Hero Yui one day. There has to be a Hero Yui.
Oh, that would be cool.
And just him
just blowing himself up. It's got to be that one.
And that's it. Trademark slam.
That or I'll kill you. Did you see your phrase? That'll work too.
Roger that. No, that should be the gift.
That's the third one right
that should be the gift right there. Roger that.
Roger that. So good. Oh, Gundam Wing. What a 90s as fuck anime.
Even bullshit that is.
Pretty much. But yes, Call of Duty, pretty exciting. Looking forward to Black Ops 6. So look forward to maybe more talk in the future here on the podcast. The other thing that is anime focused for this podcast that me and Miles have been dabbling a little bit in both Well, I guess me, because apparently Miles has seen the show and I didn't tell him about the show. Anyway, the show anime I want to talk about is Call of the Night. That's Call of the Night, right? That's the name of the show?
Call of the Night, yes.
Which is apparently a High Dive exclusive. So yeah, this is just a show right up my alley because it's all about artsy fartsy and dialogue, wit, cleverness writing, and unique camera angles and shots and good timing of editing. For those who don't know what Call of the Night is, so it's an anime.
What? No.
But the story is about a middle schooler who is just kind of like roaming in the middle of the night because he can't sleep at night. And he kind of, I guess kind of assignments after school, I guess, when I think about it. Kind of a little bit.
And it's like same.
Different motivations. But basically, he's an insomniac and catches him one night. Like, I'm going to get out of the house. I'm going to walk around town. And he explores, Tokyo or Tokyo-ish, let's say.
Yeah.
And like what it is to walk around the middle of the night. And of course, because anime fashion, it couldn't be just a one quiet night hanging around in the big city. He bumps into a vampire.
Vampirist? Maybe is there a difference?
Yeah, I don't know the terminology when it comes to all this vampire talk. I'm not the biggest vampire person. Basically, he bumps into a vampire, and they have a grand old time hanging out, doing late night shenanigans when the whole city's gone quiet, with the exception of a couple drunks in the middle of the street who are ongoing characters, which is cute. But anyway, they basically have this unique interaction. And they kind of have this weird pact of like, okay, well, the kid goes like, oh, well, you're a vampire. Vampires are cool. I want to become a vampire. And she explains to him, well, I could drink your blood, but that doesn't make you a vampire. Well, then what do I have to do to become a vampire? Well, you have to fall in love with me. Oh, well, then I'll just fall in love with you and I'll become a vampire. And that is basically the premise of the show, where every day they're hanging out pretty much somewhere between like midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Just hanging out, talking, doing late night shenanigans with the idea of maybe they'll fall in love, despite the kid is so young, he doesn't even know what love is. And so it's kind of this whole like coming of age story with a lot of supernatural mumbo jumbo, which I'm a big sucker for, of course. And yeah, it's like I said, it's a very artsy fartsy piece. It's not made by Shaft,
but it's sure inspired by it.
But it does have a lot of themes and motifs and art styles of Shimbo and Staff.
The opening's a banger.
The opening is fantastic. One of my favorite.
Shimbo would be proud.
Yes, one of my favorite openings I've seen in a minute. Very good. But yes, this is very much an anime. Feels like it's just made just for me, and I am licking it all up, baby. It's
right next to Simon After School, number 2 on Ray's list.
Yes. There's something about hanging in the middle of the night. Once again, for those who don't know, I'm an insomniac half the time.
No.
So anything that I can relate to, I definitely, get a little attached to very easily. You got a lot about that, and like I said, coming of age and the supernatural shenanigans to allow. And of course, they meet new people along the way during their late night travels, and the world expands slowly over time. And like I said, a lot of character development and clever writing, and I just eat that shit up all up.
So yeah, it's very pretty. It's a lot of pretty skylines, a lot of like very artsy angles.
Right. It technically doesn't have like a ton of animation, but as Miles suggested, they're like, how do we make this shot look visually interesting without spending a lot of money in animation, if you will?
They also studied Shinkai a little bit too.
A little bit.
That was pretty fun. It is pretty fun.
I haven't finished it. I am probably halfway through, I think. I remember right.
So wonder if there's a season 2 or not. Doesn't know to say.
I hope that if there's more, I need more, because I am, like I said, looking it up.
But yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess all I know is I'm very excited. Like I said, it's been a minute since the show. I really sunk my teeth into.
Ray's going to find a vampire like, I too would like to be one of those.
I would be send me. I'm halfway there already. I feel like I'm more of a zombie at this point. And the reason why I feel like a zombie. Welcome to the
shameless plug-in hour.
Yes, shameless plug-in hour. So yes, as I mentioned last time on the podcast, my newest review is now finally out on YouTube. Please go check it out if you're interested.
Please like and subscribe.
So those who don't know, I reviewed a show called A Couple of Cuckoos. It's not hot. It's not fresh. Is it interesting? A little bit. I will say that. It is an interesting show. The real reason I decided to cover this show in September 2024, is basically when I started my journey on YouTube 9 years ago. I started with this little anime called Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. And it became kind of I guess a cult classic in my head, at least. It's not super popular, but I really liked it a lot. And plus, that video did fairly well for me. So I like the show. I like the fact that I got a little popular on the internet because of it. And I found out that the creator behind Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches made a new series called A Couple of Cuckoos. And when once I figured it out, I heard about it. I was curious because I enjoyed Yamada-kun. Why wouldn't I enjoy another work from this creator? And so that's what I did in my newest YouTube review. I took a peek at A Couple of Cuckoos. So I guess versus Yamada-kun and even what I just talked about, Call of the Night, there is no, I guess, supernatural shenanigans, but there is a lot of shenanigans, let's say.
Regular anime shenanigans.
I guess the quick synopsis for those who don't know. It starts with a very typical harem situation where there's this plain black-haired protagonist guy named Nagi who's just going to every day at school. He just wants to be the world's biggest nerd to get the highest grades. But he's a nice nerd because he wants to help out his family, and that's why he wants to get the highest grades, because he wants to help out his family because his family kind of struggles financially.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. He's a very good boy. And so that's his motivation early on. What he finds out, though, in episode 1 is apparently the whole life he's lived is a lie, because apparently he got swapped with another baby on the same day that he was born. And so his mother and father and sister, he's always thought is to be his mother, father, and sister, are just basically completely strangers that he's lived his whole life and always assumed they was mother, father, and sister. And so they find out there was this swap. And basically, so there's a situation where him and the baby that got swapped, which was a baby girl, now 16 years later, they grew up, and the families decided, well, why don't you just get married, and that way all the families could get together and everyone kind of wins here.
Yes, a reasonable solution, yes.
A very reasonable, foolish decision. And so that is kind of this situation for the whole story and situation to outgrow, where it's this arranged marriage situation because your parents are my parents and your parents are my parents, vice versa, if you will. Of course, sadly, the sister is not up for play because she's not my real sister, apparently. So apparently that's up for grabs. Yikes, anime.
Well, it can't be an anime without some kind of such as nonsense.
So I gotta have, if it's not real incest, let's go for the next best thing, and stepsister love, apparently. But of course, there's even a third option, because before all this occurred, our homeboy Nagi had a crush on another very smart, bright lady who is her own headache and booby trap, I will say, without getting into spoilers. But yes, it is basically a harem show, but it's a little bit more than your typical anime harem that you see all the time. I will say that to not spoil it too much. If you're curious, though, like I said, it's on YouTube. There's a link down in the description of this very podcast if you're curious. Sour Shonen, that's me. So yeah, check that out. It is a 27-minute video. It is my longest anime review I've ever done for the channel. I did not really plan it out to be. Yeah, so far. To be that long, but it just turns out I had a lot of mixed feelings about the show, and apparently I had to get it all out on the table, and a lot of inside anime joke humor. So if you're an old otaku nerd like myself, maybe you'll appreciate some of my jokes, let's say, in that video, and let alone to hear the nonsense that occur in A Couple of Cuckoos. It is an interesting show, to say the least, and there's a new season coming out next year, so look forward to more from me, perhaps in the near future.
So you're saying that video number 2 will come out next year at the time?
No, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Miles. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Book it.
But yes, that was the thing I've been working on the last 2 weeks. Been pretty much everything I've done, minus, once again, Call of Duty and both Call. Interesting. They have both calls in the name. I just realized that.
Call of Duty of the Night?
Call of the Knights of the Duties.
That sounds terrible.
Sounds fantastic.
Duty in the middle of the night. That's what it sounds like.
When duty calls, all right? When duty calls. That's what you do. Even if it's at night, in the day, in the morning, we're just there. All right? We answer the call. And we also do anime YouTube videos, apparently. That's what I do on my free time. I have a very sad life.
That's what heroes do.
Apparently. But yeah, that was basically my week for the last 2 weeks, and which also is maybe behind why I'm a little behind on our main topic this week. Spoiler alert.
What? No.
All right, gentlemen. I guess without further ado, we're jumping into our main topic this week, which is a
I guess
spoiler talk.
It's a season in review.
In progress review of Spice and Wolf.
Otaku first.
Yes, it is a first for on the podcast, but everyone was interested to watch it, and so we did. And simple as that. And so we will be talking about Spice and Wolf 2024. A little, maybe jumping the gun a little bit early, but as I learned in my adventures on YouTube, you gotta jump, you gotta make the first leap if you want to get them clicks on your coming our way. So I guess that's what we're doing here today on Taku Otaku. All right. I guess I'll be nice since I am the official host here, and I will try to tell people what Spice and Wolf is about for those who do not know. As I hinted before, Spice and Wolf is technically it's I guess a remake / sequel from an original anime run from I don't know 2007, 8ish would be my guess, shooting from the hip here. So it's not a harem, so that's always a good start, at least. It's not even takes place in Japan, so that's interestinger, let's say. So this is more of a fantasy setting situation in Spice and Wolf, but it's not so much of a, magic and goblins and fighting situation. It's medieval European economics, the anime.
Yes.
So the main protagonist here is a guy named Lawrence Kraft, I think is his Kraft Lawrence, okay. Well, everyone calls him Lawrence, so he's just Lawrence.
Well, he likes to be called Lawrence, so that's what we call him.
There you go, works for me. And he's a merchant, a traveling merchant who goes from town to town, tries to make a few dollars by, buying low, selling high, right? Like any good economics teacher would tell you in their 101 class. And on his journeys in episode 1, he stumbles upon a town, and while he's leaving the town, apparently there's something in his cargo wagon, and instead of see apples or furs or something he just bought from the previous town, it's an anime wolf girl.
Yeah.
Because anime.
Anime, yeah.
See, if you spend enough money, his pool in your pools one day, you could be like Lawrence and just pull the wolf girl.
That's a lot of pulls.
Yeah, well, see, if you spend, like I said, buy low, sell high. That could be
economics.
Economics, that is. And so yes, basically a wolf girl goddess sneaks on his merchant truck and says, "Hey, what you doing?" "I'm traveling around the place." "Oh, it sounds fun. Let's do it." "Oh, okay, sure. I guess that's cool with me."
Well, technically, she's trying to get up north, and so she's gonna ride with him. So they take her up north to her homeland, I guess.
Yes, I guess there's a little. I guess there's
a story in there.
Is there though? Does it really matter?
Hey. Economics.
They're going up north because she had a bit of a falling out because, as I mentioned, she was a goddess in the local town, but the townsfolk stopped believing in her, and she felt kind of like disappointed and sad and lonely, and that's why she took the opportunity to hop on Lawrence's little minivan, if you will, medieval minivan, mini cart, and get the hell out of Dodge. And she was like, "Well, you come from the north, so let's go back north. That's the place I know, so let's go up north." And he's like, "All right, let's go up north. I guess I have business up north. You're cute enough. I'll do anything for a cute wolf girl. I mean, who wouldn't?" And that's basically the really basic watered down version of what the plot of Spice and Wolf is. But yeah, so it's a lot of episodic adventures or mini arcs, I should say, I guess,
little arcs,
because it is based off a light novel series, and of course, as you can imagine, with each light novel series, there's a little story to be told, and we're slowly working our way north to get to the promised land, kind of,
just
supposedly.
Like
yeah, I was gonna say there's a little bit of that in this show for sure. But yeah, that is the main plot element. But the meat of the series, if you ask me, is, as I mentioned before, is a lot of the economics that deals with a traveling merchant. Because of course, in one town, maybe they like, oh, we really want wheat, right? Because that's what her bread and butter in the beginning. She's known for, she helped the harvest of the wheat in her town. But anyway, in this town, we really want wheat. Oh, but in this town, wheat's garbage. We have wheat all day. Why would I ever pay a high price for wheat? But in this town, we got no wheat out here. I would pay a high price for wheat. We need it to survive the winter and this and that. And as I mentioned before, it's very old school, medieval. There's no flying cars. There's no trucks. There's no, let me just get you my Amazon Prime and I could get it in 2 days.
Yeah. Is your still center a horse and buggy ever going to travel all the way everywhere?
Yes, and like as I mentioned before, there so far, or at least as I've gotten, I said I'm a little behind. There is no really there's no magic happening here. There's no oh, if only I could use hocus pocus poof, and now the silver turned to gold or vice versa, whatever. Not yet. Maybe in a later arc that we'll get into another part. There's that. But yeah, that is the main thought here, and like I said, the plot of the series. I guess we're treating this as a full review. So Frank, let me ask Frank here first, because me and Miles seen the original run way back in the day, and I have vague memories of it. But Frank, this is your first time ever watching anything Spice and Wolf, correct?
Yes.
So, Frank, early impressions, not getting spoilers just yet. We'll get there in a little bit. How were you feeling about Spice Wolf? Because I know I mentioned before on the podcast, and I did technically preview this new edition for the podcast, but I didn't choose it for full review. But here we are, we're full reviewing it anyway. What did you think about Spice Wolf in the initial first handful of episodes? Were you interested? Were you regretting your interest?
Do you know my numbers?
How good's your numbers, Frank?
I was enjoying it. Thought it was interesting, not what I usually watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not expect it to be so much about merchant stuff and trading and buying and all that. So I was like, oh my, I need to do my homework.
Yeah.
So that was interesting new angle to pay attention to. The other thing was the whole dynamic between the wolf girl and the guy. I was like up and down about it. I'm like, I kept getting a little confused about it. I'm like, wait, does she like him? Does she not like him? Does he know? Does he not know?
Right.
And it was kind of confusing because it wasn't too bothered by it, but I was just like confused. Like, I thought we were here already. Why are we back to square one?
I could feel you. I could feel you on that one.
So that was part was like, did I skip something? Should I?
Right. Did I miss an episode?
Should I stop playing Genshin?
Put down the Genshin, Frank. Put down the Genshin.
So it had nice moments.
We're in sync over here.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
What?
Oh yes. Occur. Yes.
I had some memorable moments. I love the opening, the first one. The second one,
Yeah, I feel that.
I watched it in English dub.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that.
And then I was forced to watch it in Japanese for the last two.
Those bastards.
And I did not like it in Japanese.
No, interesting.
Her voice is not as. I feel like the voice in English it fits her well. And in Japanese it's just another. She's just another girl.
Just another girl.
Yeah, she's like redhead girl in English dub, just normal brunette.
That's the difference. The power levels are right there.
Yes.
Red is better than brunette.
Frank will know.
The rankings. We're getting closer.
I did. I was watching them and then trying to watch the last episode. It's not out yet.
Damn it.
I was like, damn.
Cliffhangers.
Although it did feel a bit rushed because if the next one is the last one, then I'm like, you guys did not have enough time to do all this. Or I don't know. I just feel like.
Well, the way I describe it, it's a teaser. That's the best way to put it.
I just feel like they started this whole new arc,
but didn't even.
Because I think you finished. I finished the second to last part.
I think so.
And you only have like 3 episodes or maybe 2.
Oh, okay.
So it's like that's not enough time to
start something new.
I know. I felt like they were just gonna wrap it up, and I'm like, wait, you're starting a whole new town already? What's going on? No, we got a deadline. Come on.
You can't do this to me.
So I was a bit disappointed in that. I didn't finish it, and I decided to watch the original one after that. I'm like, okay, let's see.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't get too far.
I was gonna say, how far did you get in the original?
Like first episode.
Oh, okay, so just barely. Just
I wanted to hear like the voice. I want to see. And I started today, so it was just like I didn't have time to watch.
Okay,
I will finish it just to compare.
All right, we might come back to that, but I am kind of curious to see the little you saw. I guess episode 1 versus episode 1, if you will.
That sounds funny.
I mean, so far I like the new one much better.
New one, okay.
Yeah, it's just it's the same thing. It's just a shinier color.
Basically, yeah.
Well, it's PS5 Pro enhanced now.
Yeah, thanks AI enhancing over here.
So yeah, I liked it a lot. I wouldn't recommend it like 100% to people. More like if you like novella, soap operas. If you like,
it's got a little bit of that for sure. If
you like girls that keep changing their mind.
She is a little all over the place, let's say.
Yeah.
But
I feel like.
Well, that's the cool part.
I mean, it might be real. I don't know. I don't have much experience with women, but it's kind of like
secrets revealed.
She takes all her money and she's like, "Guess what I'm thinking, but I'm not gonna tell you." And then, I love you, but I'm gonna treat you like crap.
I have
or so I hear.
This doesn't sound like an alien concept to me. I'll say that.
So it's like, yeah, and he's dumb too.
He's a dumb nice guy.
Like, okay, I'm not even talking about how they treat each other. He has to be like the worst merchant I've ever seen. Even though he talks smart, like, come on, no, I think in one of the things he did something, and they're like, "All right, what do you want your payment as? Gold? No, give me armor. No, gold.
Gold's good.
Money.
Gold's good.
Money is used for everything. Not everybody uses armor.
Gold. King is gold.
And I was like,
Gold
he was
king.
like, "Oh, it's gonna sell. It's hot like palm cakes." And that. So he's just like kept making the worst decision.
He does make
financially every time.
They're not the best.
He's like me in the stock market. He's like, Kodak will never go away.
The Kodak moment. Everyone remembers the Kodak moment.
Let's buy Blockbuster. Everybody watch.
Yeah. There you go.
What's the worst that could happen? Oh. What's this Netflix thing?
Apple? Nah, let's not get that.
That'll never go anywhere.
And then his name, I didn't know it was like Spice because he deals in spices and wolf. I'm like, oh, okay. And then
that was I forgot about that.
And then like he never has spices after that.
I know, right?
Wow.
The whole show's based on the one time. Oh, so he picked up the thing the one time, and Vegeta pointed out, "Oh, Spice and Wolf, eh? Where's Kakarot?" You know,
great team. Yeah, it's just like, and then the whole stock market thing. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Where in the stock market was going on?
That's a little. I guess we'll get into that maybe a little more spoilers talk. But that was, we do somehow get there.
It was weird. Like suddenly stuff was happening. I'm like,
right. We leveled up.
Yeah, it was. I give it a
10.
I give it about a 7 out of 10.
7? Oh well, that's not bad.
I enjoyed it a lot. It's just, I guess I like watching crazy women and
everyone else does,
and guys that keep messing up.
Well, there you go. That's we can relate to this. I think perhaps. Maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I'm gonna reach on the branch and go there. I'm gonna go there.
I mean, like you resonate with insomniacs. I resonate with people that do bad trades.
Just don't want to quit and walk away from the gambling habits.
Exactly. And you know what? He does mention like, well, if it were over to me, I would gamble this away. And then he looks at her, but she won't let me.
There you go. It's always one of them stopping us.
Yeah. That's why you need a woman to stop you from
for stopping you look like a goddamn idiot.
That's what you gotta learn about this show.
You're not wrong, Frank. You're absolutely not wrong on that, Steven.
Don't see this.
I concur.
Don't be this guy. Don't listen to the woman. The woman knows more than you do.
Get yourself a fox girl. Gotta get ourselves a fox girl.
All in on the Wizards winning the NBA championship, or buy food for my family.
I could be worried to get bound to Clippers.
Yeah.
The choices we make. All right, Miles. Let me pass it on to you, brother. I guess as a person who's seen the original run, first 2 seasons, and watching this early on, how are you feeling about this version of Spice and Wolf?
Well, let's see. For the most part, I guess the first half is pretty much the same. Obviously with more HD graphics. A little more attention to, I guess, more nuance, which that whole look can do now, but for ears and I guess it kind of, for better or worse, they followed the light novel version of her, I guess, and the way how she illustrated, I guess.
Yes, the illustrations are a little bit more that way.
More softer and more, I guess, more...
Slightly cuter, maybe?
Yeah, cuter,
rounder, softer.
Yeah, well, compared the original one, though, it's more...
They have jaggy eyes and tails, I want to read.
But, that's our style of the time. There's a difference. But, here they obviously went from more, like, it's kind of like more ufotable, kind of more soft. Because that's why I think ufotable sometimes they do kind of like, they do a lot of soft, granted, don't even watch openings, I guess. But, they do a lot of soft, pastelic, more.
That's true, the pastel part.
But obviously, Passione was the animation studio.
Oh, right.
Which, funny enough, also did, I think,
I remember looking up the
goddesses. I know I reviewed it last time. The goddesses May Cafe goddess.
Oh, Discount Lofina.
Yeah, Discount Lofina. That's basically so they were so bright in that one, but this actually toned down. Like, oh, this is what I expect, more earthy tones.
It did remind, like I said,
you can tell the animations.
As I said, as a person who watched the original show, but maybe wasn't really into it, but I have the Blu-ray DVD copy, so I liked it enough to buy it. But it's one of those, like, if you asked me, like, is this exactly the way you remember? I'd be like, yes. It's one of those, your mind canon lore take over from what actually is. And I think I mentioned before, like in old Resident Evil games, when you play the remasters, like, well, it also always looked this good, and you go back like, oh, this looks like shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting to see when you put them, comparison side by side. You're like, oh, there is a difference.
Yeah, that means most of the screens, most of the scenes are kind of the same. You know, the same shot, you know, her coming from the basket or from the cart.
Right.
A lot of things like kind of like one front, like recreations of it with different art style, but you know,
they're pretty similar.
They're pretty similar. You know, it doesn't really get when because they not get to episode 14, which they actually split to a brand new arc never covered
in the original run.
In original anime. That's like you know, most of the, you know, it's just a one for one shot like this and this happens, but you know, everything we've been through before.
Right.
So
if you're an old school fan.
So you go like, oh, but you know, it's kind of like, you know,
you could really jump ahead if you really just want the story beats, right?
Yeah, but you know, like, you know, you kind of watch to see like, well, let's see their take on it. Did they do everything right? It's kind of like, you know, when they remake, you know, like
the One Piece.
The one. Can't wait the next year with the One Piece. Say, oh, that means you can streamline it. Oh,
it's got to be faster. God, I hope it's got to be faster.
But that's fun. Like, oh, I mean, you're not padding anymore. We're just gonna go straight to it. We're just gonna get there. You know, right at the get go. Huh?
Just tell me Enos Lobby and I'll pay attention.
Yeah. So other than that, you know, I think a lot of the voice actors for both English and Japanese are the same.
That is neat that they have actually the same cast on both audio tracks, which I think is pretty cool because they do that. The sad part is they do that all the time in Japan, but rarely do we actually get that here for us English Westerner speaking people. But they actually did find the original voice actors from the original TV show and brought them back to do this one, and they're both very good at the jobs.
Yeah, no, I think they do pretty well. I think because we're doing more of an English setting, I guess Western
European-ish.
You know, I think the English dub is a little bit better because you do get a lot of nuances more because especially when you talk about economics, you kind of understand it more better.
I need it. I'm very slow.
But obviously, you know, the Japanese not bad as well. You know,
it's still solid.
There's more nuances. You know, the way how like, you know, different accents, like with Holo, for example. You know,
right.
Things like that. Like more the way how she speaks is a little bit different than, you know, in English. But you know, they're both good in their own separate things, I guess.
True. Because there's between when Lawrence and Holo, I don't think I ever said her name. The Fox's girl name's name Holo, by the way. My bad.
The reason why you watch the show,
don't you remember the show from 2007?
There's the reason why you're watching the show right now.
I mean, you probably did. If that's
she's the reason why I got a remake right now.
I mean, Togashi, we know Togashi liked and subscribed that day when he saw that design. But anyway, her name is Holo, and what was my point? Oh yes, and the when Lawrence and Holo are talking to each other, there's a lot of like sarcastic and innuendos between each other, talking about like, oh, if only I really had a crush on this beautiful boy, and you could love a beautiful girl like myself, and this and that. And you know, if you spoke Japanese and you blah blah blah, you understand the whole language, which, you know, as an anime fan watching it for a long time, there's some things I do understand and pick up on, but things that just get lost. So when you hear it, but in the English version, obviously you can see and understand it.
I think they sell it. I think they sell a little bit more.
Right, when she's being really sarcastic or not.
Yeah.
But also, as Frank mentioned, sometimes Holo herself can be a little all over the place, let's say.
You know, women, am I right?
I don't know. That's one of those.
We don't know anything.
I'm just going by what the show tells me. All right.
So yeah. So other than that, you know, newer stuff, I'd probably get spoilers for the newer stuff.
Right.
Pretty much it's a nice remake. It's a nice remaster.
Right.
You know, after like, you know, 15 or something odd years.
Too many years. We don't have to do the math there.
You know, it's like because you know, it's kind of like when I can't show things like when stories have been like gone for so long, you have to reintroduce everyone to said story.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to go there, restart from the beginning.
Right.
But you know, if you already seen the original, you know, there's it's a nice enhancement to like, this is how like you said, this is how the story is in our heads. You know, you look at, what happened here?
I was gonna say 16. Well, actually, that part of the original was still in 16:9, but at that point in time,
you know, music's pretty much your standard, you know, Europeanish music.
The music is good, which is interesting because I did notice, and I don't know why I thought it, and then I saw it and I laughed about it because the music composed in this run is by a gentleman named Kevin Plenkin, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Which is funny because I remember talking about like way back in the day in what was it, Made in the Abyss? Because obviously, it's an anime production, but like this is a very Western sounding anime. Like, how the heck does this guy work on an anime, right?
Yeah.
And he's got a very interesting story. And I talked about it a little bit, and he's got a little bit more popular because Made in Abyss is like ancient at this point. But the people who don't know, I think he's an Australian who, I forget the whole story, but he ended up somehow working under Nobu Okumatsu, the Final Fantasy composer for the very for at least the first 10 games, let's say. He basically became like he's kind of an apprentice and kind of did his own thing, and now he does like a lot of video game and anime scores, and he worked on this one. And I did think that, and I saw his name and I cracked up. I was like, you got to be shitting me. I just kind of guess like, this sure sounds like Kevin Blinken from what I've heard of him, and because he also did Shield Hero, so he tends to do like a lot of very Western fantasy stuff, if you will.
Yeah.
Even Made in Abyss has a little bit that into it as well. And so it was kind of fun and interesting to hear him. And I think the soundtrack is pretty good, but fits the vibe and atmosphere that is because it, as I mentioned before, it's very not Japanese, very medieval Europe setting kind of situation. And he does a very good job of using, very woodwind, flute instruments that, I guess bring upon us to them simpler times, perhaps, I guess, at least in our brains when it comes to consuming media like this. So I think that was a very other big highlight for me in this version.
Yeah, the only thing, just like the last time we did this, the only issue is that how much you like economics.
It is a lot of economics talks.
Because I mean, granted, they start with some concepts like, obviously you buy more and stuff. You get this to trade that. They start with something, but as we get further along, they're buying credit. What is that good? Is this, what is it though? Buying high, selling low. It's a lot like, if you're not a numbers person or even care, that's half the show is basically that.
Right.
So it's like you kind of have to understand it, or at least have a vague idea of what's going on, so that we go, oh, that'd be good or that'd be bad.
Right. Is Lawrence winning or losing? I don't know.
I don't know. His face, his sad face. I think he might be losing.
And Hollow's all over the place, hot and cold wise to him. So I don't know if he's winning or losing. Also, I'm very confused right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's one of the things. I guess maybe because we're older now or something like that. Knowing like this seems like this girl's a lot of work.
I'll say this. I like tsunderes. This is my thing. This is the town this is the camp I've been camping in for years. I like this camp. It's a lovely camp. I like hot and cold. I like a little thriller in my life, let's say, a little mystery. And then there's whatever Hull's doing over there, which is a little beyond my preference, let's say.
Women I can't please.
A lot of hoops to jump through for that girl.
It is one of the things, because for every moment there's a cute moment like her wiggling ears, or
right.
or some platitude
to
or
let
something.
you know how she really feels, right?
Then you get like literally next episode
she'll just cry.
She'll cry.
You don't love me anymore. Like, what the hell?
And poor Lawrence going like just the rest of the audience. What did I do?
I just sold the apple for profit.
Wait, what? What just happened? What kind of an issue? But I guess it glaze that over with look economics though.
It is a lot of that. And so it's a lot of talky. And the other thing is, and I guess I'm taking over a little bit.
Go ahead.
Is that in this show, it is a lot of economic talks. But the other thing is like, I guess it kind of hopes and assume that you're into economics, or you could keep up with kind of
concepts
and boring visuals in particular, because this is an anime, right? So it's a visual media. But it's a lot of times these characters are telling you this is how economics work, right? But there's no like visual cues to be like, all right, if Peter borrows from Sam and he told Sam he'll pay him back, 10% raise in 2 weeks, then, now Sam gets, $20 versus the $10 he originally gave to Bob or whatever, I don't know. But there's no like I said, visual cues, because a lot of times in anime they'll do that to like explain the situation to people who like don't understand these ideas. Like you'd be like, oh, you could be like, no, hold on, and then you can say objection afterwards and tell Edge Mildwood that he's a sucker, and then make him bite and give him that evil smirk grin he gives you.
And a lot of slamming desks.
Gotta slam the desk. So yeah, that's the thing is, then that's what I remember about the original show is like I was able to keep up with it, just barely, but I was. But I never really got attached to the characters or the moment or the scene and the situation they found themselves in, because they kept talking about money. But I blame Disney and DuckTales, because when Scrooge McDuck swam it was a good day because Scrooge was able to swim in his money bank, right?
Yeah.
It was a great day for Scrooge McDuck. But there's no coins, there's no money bank in Lawrence's pocket. It's just like he tells you, "Oh, today was a good day," but you don't ever see him like, "Look at all these gold coins in my purse. Well, fantastic."
Well, because he has his own. All the merchants have like a little book, and it kind of like like I got credit for this guy, this guy, this guy. So when I buy for him, I can use that credit to get this. No, it's more nuanced and more kind of there's no
it's
visual
paper money.
But that's the thing. It'd be a great. This show would be a great audio book per se. I've audio the whole light novel series.
Right.
But as a visual medium, it's kind of like, this is cool, But if you don't know anything, you're going to get bored real quick.
Sadly, you're going to have to play the Genshin Impact, as Frank has proven, because it asks a lot for you to pay attention, especially a lot of times because he'll talk about like, oh, this silver coin is worth as much as this other coin, and that coin is almost as good as this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like currency and exchanges in different lands and different currencies people use throughout the lands because they're always traveling all the time, which is interesting and does good for the world building.
Yeah.
But I wish they had a couple more visual cues to stop, pause the episode. Well, Holo, let me tell you, did you know in this kingdom, this is worth this? Like they say it, but I need the visual cue and little chibi art to be like, yay, we made money, yay, and flash up and down. To keep up. I'm a slow learner.
Well, I didn't think is that, at the end of the day, this show basically is a seinen. It's not really,
Oh, definitely, yes, most definitely.
It's not really like a name for kids or things like that. It's like, like you're a grown, mature adult and you appreciate the finer things in life.
So you like Demon Slayer? Well, how have I got a show for you? It's called Spice and Wolf. Not really. Not a lot of interception between those two shows, I don't think.
But it does require you to have a little more understanding, a higher level than your typical anime would have,
which I do like overall. If I have to choose, would I rather have something unique, different, and that I don't agree with or don't fully comprehend versus the same shit I've seen 1,000 times over and over again?
Oh, he gets stronger real good.
Yeah, he got stronger. Or look, there's a new hot girl, another childhood best friend, another sister to fuck.
Yeah, or does he have another sister? Maybe we're not related,
but maybe they're half.
Is that a root unlocked?
I mean, there's only like they're half blood, half siblings, so it's not real. It's like a little incest, just a little incest, just the right amount of incest.
Or some shows like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, maybe I will fuck my sister. Fully, same mom and dad and everything. Yep, no problems. No, don't ask any questions here.
How did we get here? What's going on?
That's what I say every time I watch these shows.
right. Hi, welcome, Frank. Welcome to the world called anime, in which maybe somebody else should be kept in their heads. Maybe sometimes not drawn out for the world to see. Anyway,
Spice and Wolf.
Armor,
bad armor. Come on.
Bad armor. You don't want to buy the armor's bad. Armor's bad. But yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to think anything else. Early impression was it isn't spoiler detail stuff. I think I did like it a little bit more than my first time watching it way back in the day, if you will. But also I'm not totally like, wow, my opinion's it's not a 180. It's more like a 90, maybe, let's say a little turn.
Well, I think if you're an older adult or older person, I think you understand. No, you're able to understand a little bit more what's going on.
You can appreciate it a little bit, right?
A little bit more,
because especially if you're like if you're into like the stock game and you're into gambling and odds and supply and demand, right?
Gacha game.
If you want to, you have your own little eBay storefront, or you do the Amazon stuff and all the various things you can do online, right? You get the idea of, once again, oh, this thing's pop. Like let's talk about Marvel vs. Capcom, right? There's a new collection that just came out, right? But before that, of course, I imagine the price for even, I think they have that cabinet, which by the way I still have.
Cabinet right over there.
Let's not talk about that cabinet. I'm still staring at that cabinet, and like the Dreamcast copy, and even like if you had a PS2 Xbox copy or the digital copy for PS3, right? Obviously, if you had that was worth a few more dollars, right? But now that they released a new version to get basically pay Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you would imagine the price probably went down because now there's a new way to play it that's much easier and definitely a lot cheaper than hunting down a Dreamcast or PS3 or this or that.
And
right?
even has rollback.
Yeah, I guess supposedly, yeah. The internet functionality is also pretty good. So that's the whole thing. It's all about timing and when to buy and when to sell, right? And so if you're into that kind of thing, it's a pretty good show. If you're not, I hope you like Wolf Girl. This is my answer to you.
You show a picture of Hollow. Do you like Hollow?
Yes.
Zero, no, then you might enjoy the show.
Do you like redheads with wolf ears?
Do you like people with hot and cold temper tantrums?
Very hot and cold. Maybe a little too hot and cold, let's say. Someone's had some whiplash.
Or you're all like, I'm okay with this.
But overall, like I said, I did enjoy it a little bit more than I remember. But at the same time, I wasn't like totally blown out of my socks at the same time. But I would recommend for people who are into anime and are getting a little tired of the same anime formula, because this does not really overall do that. But there's still a little bit of that animation shenanigans as we teased before with Holo and their unique relationship, let's say. All right, gentlemen, I think we're at that point now that we'll open up to spoilers talk. So for those who want to avoid spoilers, we got timestamps down below so you can avoid the spoilers and you can jump ahead and see what's new on the podcast, perhaps, and other things we might be looking forward to in the near future. But now let's talk about spoilers. Frank, let's ask you, Frank, what's been on your mind on this show that you
finances?
What are you investing in, Frank? Are you buying some of that what is it called? Pyrite, yes, Pyrite.
I'm buying Pyrite, buying any armor lately. You want to get some wheat? You want to get some apples?
What are you looking on the hunt for, Frank?
Money. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know why they get so complicated in trading goods.
Wow.
That's why that's why you never see him with money, because he never deals with money.
Right.
He's just like.
Well, he buys everything on credit, so that way he's that
credit or goods, never cash.
So that's when he goes back. He gets credit, so that way he can.
He's not American, I'll tell you that.
He's the first American.
True patriot.
Not much, just that I enjoyed the part where they had the escort mission.
With the
sheep girl.
The sheep, yes. The shepherd.
That's always a good part.
I love Mass Effect myself.
That was cool, and I thought that was definitely the most interesting part of the whole thing.
I was gonna ask you that question.
I like that she kind of got jealous with that girl.
Kind
of went a little too far, but
jealousy.
But I thought this is like, oh, that's kind of when because she always teased him, but it was never clear to me if it's just teasing or it's teasing.
We're gonna hook up or not
because of how they felt.
Would you like a good tease?
And the one part I didn't like about it is just when I thought the action was about to begin.
Oh, what action's that?
The wolf versus wolf.
Oh yeah.
No, nothing. It's just cut off and then.
I grabbed that up real quick, didn't they?
Well, the budget's like, how much is that gonna cost?
We don't have money for action here. This ain't Demon Slayer.
I was like, there's like you see the wolf walking, you hear the footsteps, and the music's getting intense, and then
let's talk it
she's
out.
like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Right. Cut back.
And then that's fine. Cut it off. You know, we leave it to my imagination.
Exactly.
And then she goes, "Oh, I just bend the knee." I'm like, "What?
You bend the knee?"
We could have seen you bend the knee. The animation.
Right. That's something. That is true. Yeah, that was a disappointing for
just
sure.
Don't tell me what happened. Let me imagine that
we talked it out.
You had a cool fight.
It turns out we're cousins. It's crazy.
She made it back. He didn't. That's all you need to know.
There you go.
I mean,
that's a good point.
It was crazy.
That is definitely the weakest part overall in that little arc.
The other part that had me confused was just the whole suddenly he had to fight for Holo, and and I'm like, wait, why would he even agree to that? I'm thinking like,
thank you, Frank.
What
beautiful,
did he
Frank.
Have?
Pride.
What did he had on him that's like, she owes you money, so now I'm gonna pay you back, and then she's gonna choose me.
I guess the answer is free money. He just figured, it's free money. I'll take the free money.
Yes, but then why would he even try? It's like, okay, you want to save money to pay her debt?
Right.
Cool, do that. Why did he have to like, oh my God, I gotta make sure he doesn't make the money or I gotta make more money? I don't know what he was trying to do, honestly.
Well, I guess he was trying to, I guess the goal was like, if he can't come with the money, then the contract can happen. So I'll just stop him from even getting the money.
But then the whole thing, he even said it from the beginning. I'll pay you, and then Holo can choose you or me.
Right.
So was he confident that he
was, and then he wasn't because that little spat afterwards.
But that spat happened after he agreed.
Right.
So was in the beginning he was like, oh shit, she's gonna go with it. Like, did he have a bad image of her? Like, oh my God, this slut.
No, I think
slut's gonna leave me if I.
I think, and that's why he took the bet, because he's like, well, she's gonna pick me over you, so that's not happening. And you're gonna give me free money? Well, then sure, I'll sign the stupid contract that I think is stupid, but it's free money. Who says no to free money? I'm a merchant. I'm a businessman first. So I think that's why he signed up for it. But then they had the little argument afterwards, which did seem a little forced because of the narrative, because later the rest of the arc is like, ooh, is she going to pick him or her? Which it's pretty odd once again, spoilers.
Why did they fight?
For drama's sake, mostly.
Did they fight because he agreed to the contract?
It was a misunderstanding between him, him agreeing to the contract.
So yeah, it was, yeah.
Well, what I could say, her feelings evolved. That's the base of the gist of it.
The biggest motivation was that of like, why would you even sell it when you know it's not up for grabs? But in his mind, it's like, well, it's free money. I know, I agree, but it's free money.
Okay.
Stop
the bus.
Okay. Beep, beep.
isn't she the wise wolf? Shouldn't she have figured it out? Like, hey, cool, we're trying to make money.
Well, I think it's a principle of the thing, Frank, because I think she didn't like the fact that she was being women. I don't know. I mean, that's the gist of it. You know, it's all like, I think she liked the fact that
I'm gonna be a third party over here and let you guys enjoy whatever island you guys are on. I'm gonna be on another island.
We're on the Genshin Impact 5th island.
Welcome to I'm on Wano over here. All right.
Semi-Wano, you know, there you. But I mean, I'm assuming that's what the interpretation was, that because he did it without telling her exactly what his plan was. That's what she got hurt by.
I think she was hurt, pissed off. Let's say, maybe is the word I would use. But that really sent her over to the edge for the drama's sake was the whole like, oh, you kept a secret and you about what happened up north with my town history, if you will. I think that's what really set off the whole real drama of the arc, if you ask me. It was the fact of like he was kind of keeping a secret from her, barely.
When did he learn this? I didn't even know he knew.
Oh well, yeah. Well, they that's the other thing is a lot of this show is they like tell you but don't show you, or if they do tell you or if they do show you, they show you just enough to be like we showed you, and then but they don't like emphasize the importance of this information in the scene in the situation.
And then there was like I guess I don't know if it was because I wasn't paying attention 100% all the time, but it was like, okay, didn't she know how to go back home from the beginning? And then suddenly she didn't know. They didn't know where to go.
That's hard for me because I jumped into this show a little late because I just kept going from where I left off, which was like 3 months ago. So that's not a great choice. But yes, basically I agree.
Well,
that's my understanding is like, she's like, I live up north. How to get up north? Well, I don't know. Go north, bitch.
Well,
yeah,
she figured she lived, well, because I think she went down south and then lived there for like hundreds of years. We're talking.
Right, that's true.
Hey, well,
so she doesn't really remember.
Like a blink of an eye.
Well, she's just fearing. I mean, she remembers everything. She's over 1,000 years old, eh?
Yeah.
And then suddenly she's looking for her friends. I feel like that's happened.
Well, the gist of it is because she felt her followers, her people, kind of let her go because they wanted, to be done with the old pagan ways.
But the information was about the bear, right? I don't know if you got there.
I don't think so.
Well, there was a story about a bear that attacked the moon or something like that.
I heard about this bear, but I don't think I know the details.
Well,
I missed it. One or the other.
Because you're not there yet.
Okay. Yay for me?
Yeah. So I guess I don't know. I don't know if I should spoil you or not, but basically
you can if you want. We're in spoilers.
So basically, the next part, the next arc after you left off,
there's a bear now.
They talk about going to a church which has apparently the father of the church apparently has these old writings of the old pagan gods. And one of the stories has a mention about the bear that allegedly attacked her hometown. But no, I guess it's because we don't know yet because the episode hasn't out yet to explain exactly the rest of it.
So now we're looking for Winnie the Pooh.
No, unfortunately, they're up north, but they're not up north the way she thinks. They're somewhere else now. They're no longer up north.
They did tease that like, oh, you're from the north, but you're from like the northeast, not northeast. That's what I remember from this conversation about going home.
So it's like their journey just like friends. That's a lot.
Keep going.
They're gonna a lot of twists, turns up and there. Like it's not exactly north per se.
Is she gonna like tell reveling stories about this guy she doesn't remember, but she remembers every dumb little thing about?
Well, there's Lawrence.
Yeah, that's true.
And so Lawrence and Himmel are kind of the same. Poor Himmel, the hero.
This reminds me of the story about Himmel when he told me this one thing, which is a thing that I thought was stupid at the time, but all of a sudden now I remember. Okay, did you think it was stupid or you think it was important? Because if you thought it was stupid, you probably didn't bother remembering it. But now you remembered it?
Well,
which one is it, lady?
Well, maybe the author's like,
that's my biggest problem for it. Which one is it? Pick a lane. I don't care, but pick a fucking lane. We can be whatever we fucking need to be for the story's sake.
I haven't got that far yet. Give me a minute. But, at the end of the day, we go through being hollow, the economics, and then there we're talking about the old pagan gods and Christianity and that whole dynamic back in the day in which,
the church is bad is what my understanding from the show is.
Yeah,
which depending how religious you are, you may or may not like this show.
Depending if you're religious or not, your variance in the show might vary when it goes there. Because it does go there a lot more often than the original run did.
As I was saying.
Sorry, Frank.
Based on what they read, from what I could see from the pictures, it wasn't the bear, it was the wolf. And then she made the conclusion that that's her friend, and and the book didn't really say what happened, just that the wolf destroyed the town. So her conclusion was, okay, this happened, but they're alive because it doesn't say that they died. And that's where it left off. The other thing I wanted to mention about spoilers was the Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence. Always doing the worst thing possible with the wheat, and how they go to a mill and he gives them the wheat, and it, I guess, to process it, or I don't know what, but they had to make it into flour, I guess.
Yeah.
And then somebody dies from flour poisoning. They blame him for poisoning the whole thing.
That makes sense.
Well, but I said the thing with back then, they didn't have ways to treat the wheat. So you wouldn't know if you're going to die from poisoned wheat unless you go and eat something of it.
Yeah.
So it's just bad luck.
So it's just, I guess there's the wheat of the town, and then there's the wheat that he brought, and I guess somebody poisoned the wheat of the town to get some ahead of somehow. And this guy comes in and like, oh, I'll give you my wheat too. So now his is mixed with. It's like, is it his or is it the original?
We'll never know.
Well, we'll probably get there eventually, Frank.
Is this newer stuff or?
Yeah, but it's just...
Okay, good, because I'm like, I have no idea what Frank's talking about, but I'm begging this is a newer, the lighter episode that I get to.
One of the plot points up there is that like basically
his old wheat was bad.
His old wheat was bad, so now the whole town are against him now.
I see.
Because
bad wheat.
They think that he's the one who gave him bad wheat.
Okay.
I just marvel at the stuff he gets into by his.
Kid man has no luck.
This is why.
Yeah, well, that's why
good business sense.
He probably should be a merchant. I don't know what to tell you. It's it just because things had to happen because of story, right?
I bet she's a great chef.
Things had to happen, Frank, because the story hasn't. He has to fumble so much so that way Hulk can pick him up, and then
let me tell you the next arc.
Oh no!
He's gonna start selling chicken, and then there's gonna be a salmonella break.
All right,
this is why you gotta clean your hands. You can't deal with raw chicken. Food Wars taught us this.
They're gonna make a whole bunch of rules and regulation because of Lawrence. It's just.
Well, he will make his heart in history, I guess. And it's just a poor luck. It's poor luck on his part.
He has the worst luck.
Apparently. It does seem like every decision he makes does not work out and allows for drama to occur and for a story to happen.
Probably he has a wise wolf next to him.
He needs something.
And
a crazy wise wolf.
Listen to her.
Take the advice, bro.
You know what? Just don't do nothing without her, without the yes of her. Run. You gotta go to the bathroom. Ask the wolf.
Make sure. Do I have to go? You do. Okay, thank God.
Should you wipe? Ask the wolf. We might need the toilet paper.
You never know.
There's
you gotta get the 2-ply. Should always get the 2-ply.
There you go. So the moral of the story: find a wife, everybody. That's right. Find a wife.
If you go to ruin, let it be her fault.
Pass the buck on her. Frank's method. It's never me. It's her.
I checked with her. She said it was fine. So therefore,
she fucked up, not me.
So yeah, I don't know if I said everything I wanted to say, but I said a lot.
Said a lot. There are some things. How about you, Miles? Any spoiler talk you want to get off your chest?
I admit the new arc and kind of like you mentioned before, kind of
the new which arc? Help me out, Miles.
I guess from
the Alchemist arc or
the Alchemist arc.
Okay, good.
That arc was big giant pull of just
it seemed very for shenanigans,
like Holo pulling towards his chain. Pretty much, it's the gist of it. There's nothing. It's kind of weird. Well, let's see. And that's the thing is that I think unfortunately that arc kind of feels like Holo's bad side because it kind of like she's very wishy-washy, kind of like am I on the good side today or am I on the bad side? How
am I feeling today?
There's no because there's usually like some nerd on, so obviously if he messed up, she knows about it.
Right. There's a little poke and jab, which I do enjoy.
I guess they kind of treat her very unstable,
a little,
and especially in this arc.
Right, this is definitely the worst one.
Because that meeting arc, the first couple arcs are he kind of.
Well, she's new. They don't know each other too well.
And he kind of had to come and be honest.
There's also a little bit of that.
And he now needs to have drumstick to make this more spicier than having he have a merchant's duel to the death. Right.
It is one of those. I guess piggybacking off that idea. It is the beginning, as I think in Frank teases, like, why even accept this duel to begin with? This is like pointless. There's no real. I mean, there's free money to take, I guess, but do I need the free money? Not really. And it's just one of those, basically, because they're betting like my wife loves me more than she won't leave me. My wife will leave you for you. So I bet that she will stay with me, which is like, if the wife finds out you made this bet, she's not going to be happy. So why make this fucking bet, you know? Unless he was confident there was no way she's going to find out about it. Why would you even take this bet?
Let's remember, at this moment in time, they're not really married per se.
No, but I mean,
well, okay, what I'm saying, but if you have a girlfriend, right?
They're at least where boyfriend girlfriend level.
Yeah, girlfriend, you're not gonna go take a bet to see how long this is gonna like.
That's what I'm saying, and I understand because like I would be a little pissy, like you took the bet. What do you mean you fucking took the bet, asshole? I get like that initial premise. I get being like that would ruffle my feathers as well. So, but like I said, it just seemed forced because we allowed for the drama to occur. So it was that, and then I guess the same problem, but on I guess the opponent side of things, of him egging on like, I bet you this deal, if I loaned you this credit at this rate, we'll lock it in on this rate today. And like it's funny because like homeboy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Let's just do this deal tomorrow when you have the product in your fucking hand. Why are you wasting everyone's time? Let's just do this deal like any normal businessman would do it. But because of the story shenanigans, they need to make that promise that day for the shenanigans to occur. And the next thing, what becomes the stock market. But it's just forced.
Well, they kind of forced the whole, like, because we're trying to do economics, but people are complaining, oh man, there's too many numbers in the show.
Right.
How do I spice it up? Let's add this drama in the mix, and that way, there's more stakes involved. But like you argue, like, stakes are kind of like inflated. Like
there's nothing really on the line, like versus the previous arc where shit was on the line, right? So that made more sense when that happened. But this time, like we don't know what to do. So drama.
That part I particularly enjoyed it because it was very, very stock market-ish. Like,
right, that's true.
I wish Ivan was here because
we could teach him a lesson or two.
We talk about the stocks like every day, and what he did there exactly is like selling contracts.
Right.
And it's just like he perfectly explained what happens and stuff like, hey.
There you go.
And for Lawrence, it's a great deal.
Right.
But for the buyer, which is long hair kid.
Right.
It's a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like he was just confident that the price would go his way.
Exactly.
And that's why he would do it, but then again, it's like there's no reason to do it. It's just greed.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And
confidence and
Lawrence was just, I guess, desperate. And
that's what it was. He was desperate, and the other guy was confident.
Yeah, but that was cool. I was like, hey, I do those.
It is definitely a good, economics 101, 102 class for sure.
Eventually, we had the father and son tell you, bye, father. How's this bad for him? Well, let's see, son. We're over here.
Which honestly, I know it's a little like, and I kind of make fun of this like when it's very kind of hand-fisted and very forceful. But as a person who's not the most economic savvy, I would prefer some of more scenes like this where they really kind of help me out and give me the assist here. I like a good assist every so often.
But to be fair about this contract that they did. That's not how it's done.
Well, old school.
Lawrence needed to have the equity to be able to do that for him.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of like, can you let me borrow money so I can let you? It was just weird.
It was a little okay.
It was like the blonde kid did everything for him.
Right.
And it's like, no, he needed to have his own money so he can promise you to sell it at this, or he needed to have the money, or he needed to have the product.
Right.
And he had neither. So I'm like, how did he get away with it?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's this very forceful situation because if he doesn't agree on it, then the arc is kind of over, right? So he has to buy it into him. And the explanation is just like, I guess he eggs him on, like, my power level stronger than yours. Oh yeah, come on, bitch, I'll shake on it.
I guess if I'm thinking about it, he went into margin to sell him a contract, which it was like double dipping.
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Oh wow, this Lawrence.
Yeah, he's.
Bad.
I don't know if he's very good or very bad at his job. I don't know.
He would definitely buy AMC if he was here in this.
or GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop.
Yes, he's definitely buying GameStop. Definitely. 1,000%.
He's gonna be on the Reddit to the moon.
I was gonna say, he's got a Reddit account,
and then he's gonna have like a little Holo logo.
Fox Girl Lover.
He's gonna be like.
That's I'm betting it right now.
Oh my gosh, Lawrence in Reddit.
He's interesting. And then the other thing, I guess talking about this, the other thing that I thought was a little forceful or silly shenanigans is the arc before it with the whole armor and the fact that somehow I guess I found it hard to believe that like he was somehow oblivious to the fact that armor's worth nothing right now because the thing I was banking on that would involve the armor isn't even happening. Because I like to think a guy like this is pretty well informed and yet somehow he just zone out on that fact.
Well, he got Stringer Bell.
Oh yeah,
that's the gist of it. At the end of the day,
he got what?
It's a reference to The Wire, pretty much.
You ever seen The Wire, Frank?
No.
Well, there's a character named Stringer Bell, and they needed to get rid of Stringer Bell, so they just made him do everything wrong just to get rid of him.
You know, he was the smartest guy in the room.
Yes, it just makes no sense.
Or I guess maybe maybe that's a better equivalent. Or
yeah, I guess that would also work as well if you want an anime setting. There you go.
But you know, so he had they had to force him to be doing something stupid, so that way people are like, oh, he's stupid.
To get him to the situation where he's desperate, and then they do the whole gold smuggling stuff. Which is, to me, is like, oh, good, I understand this problem. Okay, steal the gold from here, put it over here, now it's worth more money. All right, got it. Makes it, I mean, whew. And that's simple. I like a nice, simple plot line I could follow along. but yeah, that whole part scene, and like you mentioned earlier, Frank, the whole skirmish with the wolves just seemed a little anticlimactic of like, oh, I guess she bend the knee? Like, a little, like, at least to see that played out. I guess she told us she bend the knee, and we saw 2 seconds of her bend the knee, so I guess she bend the knee.
Was Amsterdam saying, how much does it cost? That much?
Yeah.
We're not Lawrence. We don't have money like that. I buy it on credit.
And I like how convenient and nice the assassins they sent out to kill him were like, well, let's not really kill him. Let's just tie him up and we'll let the wolves go. Like, just kill the damn bastard. Let's move on about this, shall we?
See, I don't know. I don't know if it's
how convenient.
I don't know if like they try and make it soften the blow per se. Like, you know, the light novel, obviously, you know, they were going to probably kill him. But, you know,
right.
We can't show that on TV.
Oh, I'm not a real killer.
You know, because I'm assuming it's like a censorship thing kind of in a way.
I guess it's like, yeah, it's one of those, like, it's not impossible. I do like the fact because, like, there's a little bit of humanity to these, like, basically villains. But at the same time, most people are just going to kill this random guy they don't know and just move about the day, right?
Man, I don't have to be the bad
guy.
Yeah,
yeah, basically, it's just.
Man, I'm like Wreck-It Ralph. Man, I don't have to be the bad
guy.
Yeah,
a little bit. It's a little bit of like that.
All because I'm a bad guy.
Doesn't mean I'm the bad guy. Yeah, exactly. A little bit. So I just found that part also a little jarring. But overall, that was probably my favorite arc that we saw, I guess.
At the end of the day, you know, at the end of the day, if you're okay with numbers, you have a nice relationship with numbers.
Yes, you're a math person, let's say.
And you happen to study economics or your economics major, maybe you will enjoy the show a little bit more than the rest of us. But if you're not, you know, I think the show could not be.
It's not everyone's cup of tea, I think it's a safe thing to say. Though it is unique, and I always will at least, I won't love it, but I always will have at least a solid appreciation for things that do their own thing and have the confidence to be like, either people will get on board or they'll get the fuck off. I don't care, but I'm doing this thing. So I do appreciate that was the vision of this series and they stuck to it.
You already tended to kind of spelled right the ending of the story because that was the.
Well, I mean, they tell you without telling because they do jump into like today's timeline quotation marks. I don't know how to explain.
A lot of
despite I don't really fully. I just know it because I've seen it in pictures. So I know it probably happens, but like to tell you like for a fact in the details about what happens, I have no idea. But I'm pretty confident that I think they're going to hook up at some point.
It had red hair
girls. That's true. Girls. There you go. There you go. We're halfway there. We're doing good.
Now can she ball? That's a real question.
There we go. Let's give her a basketball.
She can. She can run a.
She can run. She left pretty good.
She's athletic. You know what? She might not be good at the free throws, but she can dunk.
She's our own Shaq in her region.
At least the Shaq, yes.
Yeah, at least definitely, most definitely. She's a big one, that's for sure. When she wants to, she can. I also did find her a little bit, and I have to go back to the original because I don't remember the original. I did find her wolf form to be cuter. I don't know if I'm high or what.
I think her design this time around is more
adorable,
merchable.
We could sell that. We could put that on lunch pail.
I get a little Nezuko like, I guess.
A little bit, like I said, softer, gentler on the eyes.
Because I remember the original one, like,
I remember looking a little more scary looking. But maybe I'm misremembering. I have to go look it up.
I would say probably more fierce looking, I guess. Right. To describe it. But here, like, you're like, look.
There's a couple shots of like, oh, she's a good girl. She's a good girl.
And then you see like, and then
just want to pet her.
But see, if you're like Lawrence, you too will develop a callus and like, no, she's just all the time. It's fine.
This will be fine. This is all in on this. Apparently, I don't know. It's one of those I want to go back. And has she always been portrayed this way? And I just like zoned out, or was too busy thinking about the numbers. I didn't see it.
Idiot. Or it's bet in too high.
Yeah, I don't know. All in all, is wolf girls are cute. I don't know if they're that cute. Let's put it that way also as well. All right, I think I got everything off my. Particularly with the last arc that I saw involving our little Tales of Symphonia Rejects supporting cast arc was my main complaints I feel overall, and the silly.
It's brand new.
Oh, I guess the one last thing is in the arc before with the armor. Once again, I did find it silly that they basically got the armor because they found out the one guy was trying to trick them with the scales trick. And I just thought, like, we'll just get a 10%, 20% bonus in cash and walk away from this deal and let's move about it. But because I guess he got greedy in quotation marks, he got all the armor and on loan, thinking that it was an easy turnaround profit. I'm gonna go over here and sell this thing for this price, and it's easy free money. And of course, it didn't turn out that way, and until the drama happened. I just thought it seemed. He didn't seem that greedy at that point in the story, but I guess he is capable of being that greedy.
Well, he's a merchant. Like he said, he's a merchant for foremost. So I'm assuming that's how the merchant talks around here. I don't know. Lawrence is interesting.
Never take a loan when you don't have to. Be as my recommendation as a college graduate.
There's a time to hold them and a time to fold them.
Yeah, it just seemed like just get the extra 20%.
Maybe
Let's go home.
Maybe let it ride. Not the idea to do it.
He had a double down. He doubled down and was like, just take the 10. Just take the card and walk away. But homeboy wanted to double down. It just seemed a little aggressive. They're showing 19. That's what it seemed like. It's maybe not the time to double down.
Yeah, well,
But he really thought he was gonna get that 21, and he did not. He did not. And then he had to go trick a poor girl. Well, I guess he didn't really trick her, I guess, to be fair.
Yeah.
A little girl to smuggle gold.
Coerce.
And then it became like Ocean's 11 kind of for a little bit there.
No, don't worry about that part.
But yeah, overall, I did like Spice and Wolf. Is it everyone's cup of tea? Definitely not. But if you're an anime veteran, I would suggest checking out because, especially because I complain a lot of times of like a lot of anime cliches, and particularly anime cliches I don't like. Because, there are anime cliches that I do like.
But the power level's so good, though.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, there's a little bit of that I do like. But when it comes to, let's say, like romance stuff, this show does and doesn't do that kind of stuff. And so it is interesting and different enough that I would warrant it's worth checking out.
Don't worry, it works out in the end.
And if for some reason your Japanese isn't as good as, let's say, mine is, the English dub is also a very good option and is available to you as well. So maybe check out the English dub as well would be my recommendation, because I would be even way more confused without it. I'll admit that right here on the podcast. All right, gentlemen, is that it? Everyone's got the spicy wolf out of them. They shook it off. They got the spices out of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some apples and I'll come back.
Yeah.
How you feeling? You'll pepper it out over there, Frank?
I'm just thinking like should have probably left with the sheep girl.
Should have gone with the simple blonde.
Yeah, because she was like starting to act crazy, and it's like I don't need this. Like,
the stock market's already crazy enough as is. I don't need a little bit more over here.
Some other guy would have put up and like I don't need this.
It works out in the end. There's a little here, a lot of,
or so we think. Yeah.
Well, so I guess we'll find out season 2.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't even know. I'm not even sure if. Well, I guess I'll probably announce it because.
Well, if they're gonna announce it, they're gonna announce it after this concludes. All right, gentlemen. I think we've concluded our Spice and Wolf talk for this week. Gentlemen, anything else you're looking forward to in the next few weeks coming out between now and the next podcast? We want to push, sell, promote? Zelda is coming around the corner. We do have plans on going to cover that.
I'm making beds and I can lay in them and trying to build stack to the top.
Someone's got to save Link's butt apparently, and this time it's going to be Zelda, so that'll be a nice refreshing talk. But yes, that is on the agenda for the podcast. I'm not exactly sure when. I think there might be 2-3 episodes from now, but that is on the schedule for the podcast. So if you're looking forward to what's it, Legend of Zelda,
I don't know why you're blanking.
I am blanking on this on top of it.
Wisdom of Courage,
something like that.
Echoes, I was thinking.
Oh, wisdom.
I was gonna say Echoes of Wisdom, but that is
Dolphin.
I know this is pure out of my ass. I have no idea if that's even.
I was gonna say Echoes of Time, but I think that's a Final Fantasy.
I played that on 64, I think. But yes, the new Zelda game featuring Zelda herself, that is on the agenda. And of course, we're going to have, and also not maybe in the next episode or two as well, probably right before the Zelda episode, will be our summer full review spoiler talk as well we have the Lucis Samurai from Frank. That's correct, right now, Frank? Lucis Samurai?
Lucis Samurai, Pseudo-Harm for me.
All right, Pseudo-Harm and
Oshinoko Season 2.
All right, Ocean, Jesus Christ.
Oshinoko, Speaking about over the
Am
top.
I crazy? Has Oshino come and left like really fucking quickly?
I don't know. I guess.
I feel like when the season 1 came out, everywhere I turned there was Oshinoko. And this season, I feel like after the first week or two, I haven't seen anything Oshinoko.
I don't know, but I think Ocean has the same problem like a lot of second season of shows have now these days.
The
which
opening's not a banger.
Well,
not as good.
But I guess like if you're in it, you're in it. If you're not, why are you watching the second season, right?
I guess that's true. Second season does have a little bit more. I don't know. But you would think the hype from season 1 would carry over to season 2, right? Considering it was only like a year gap versus like something. Was it fucking 15 years for Spice and Wolf remake here?
Well, I don't know. It depends whatever.
Right. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not constantly on the Reddits and the internets looking up what's hot right this second. I'm too busy fucking editing videos from 2022 of a couple cuckoos from a creator that did something from like 10 years before that. So what the fuck do I know in regards to what's sizzling at the moment in the anime world? But yes, nonetheless, we're gonna have our summer reviews, and of course, also probably 2 or 3 episodes. I'm gonna imagine it's gonna be that Zelda, and then after that, well, of course, will be fall preview. So look forward to a lot of video game anime talk here on Otaku in the coming future. But of course, before we leave, I must say thanks to my fellow co-host. So Miles, thank you, brother, for taking the time out of your pools and joining us on this podcast.
I like to know. I'm bringing around of content soon, so I don't know how much more I'm going to be pulling here. And then eventually, when you get to Bound Number 4, which that's going to get a little different.
I'm going to say bad is what I'm going to say because I don't remember 4 very much.
Well, I'll argue 3 is probably the
last.
Kids will call it the peak.
There you go, the trilogy. I'm going to start and begin with the trilogy. That's how it works. And Frank, thank you, my friend, for joining us once again, bringing us your Genshin Impact addiction.
Yeah. I'm full of addictions.
Yeah, Maple Story, Now
Genshin for now.
No sitcoms this week, Frank?
Just shoot me still.
Just shoot me, okay.
Shoot me still. I'm working on the next one.
Okay. Well, let me know. Let me know when Monk is back on the roster, because I know it's in the rotation.
I have to.
Coming up?
I have to watch it with someone who hasn't watched it.
Oh, I see.
So, I'm running out of family members.
I'm going to start knocking on neighbor's door. Hey, you ever seen the show Monk? Come on over. I'm going
to get a wagon. Maybe someone will jump in.
See what Foxgirl jumps in? Have you seen the show called Monk?
Oh, shit. Let me get out.
Oh, shit. Never mind. She's gone. There goes the That's the third Wolf Gold this week. Damn it. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of Otaku Podcast. And of course, our biggest and final thank you goes to you guys for listening to this whole time, listening to us ramble about wolf girls,
economics,
and our luck system in our own lives when it comes to finding our own favorite wolf girls and waifus of the sort.
Pulls are hard.
And me getting my Gundam costume set. It's not good when the most...
I still like the best part. Like
the normal thing is pulling for Gundam.
So you're saying, it's not gacha though, but it seems like you're paying for content though, aren't you not?
Yeah, but I'm paying for what I get. I'm not gambling it. I just unlocked Char's.
Well, I think they got a trouble for that a couple years ago. From the
Zaku. I was gonna remember the thing.
I want to buy a Zaku. Now there's a wing. Let's see, there's between the RX-78 or Wing Zero.
Well, I'm just buying the fucking Wing Zero. There's no doubt about that. Come on now.
Because they're crazy.
Come on now.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm a 90s kid.
It's classic.
It makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Your gun shoots faster and stronger bullets.
If you're already crazy, then the best thing to do is...
It can't make you more crazy. You're already crazy. It checks out. Yeah, but yes. That's it for us this week. Once again, thank you so much for listening. And until then, people, hope you have a good one. And hopefully you come and check out with us next time. Until then, laters, people.